And so that's what Robert Salah really does provide. We've seen him do it for the 49ers. He set that culture, that energy. The Niners used to be the most energetic, hardest playing defense in the league. Now they're really not. So I think that's why, to me, Robert Salah is really perfect for them in terms of he's the head coach they need while Kyle Shanahan's their offensive coordinator.
I think that's a great point. And when I figured we were going to be talking about Salah, I didn't even think about that. The reason why I think Salah is so crucial for the 49ers' success is because along with Sean McDermott, Kyle Shanahan is about to enter year 9. Sean McDermott has an opportunity to win the Super Bowl. Sean McDermott, Kyle Shanahan are the only two coaches, the longest tenured coaches in the NFL who have not won a Super Bowl. Sean McDermott, Kyle Shanahan. McDermott actually has them by a month. So Sean's trying to go win his first one. Besides that, it's Kyle Shanahan. But the point that I was making is that they're both entering year 9. McDermott has Josh Allen, who probably will be a Hall of Fame quarterback one day. He is an elite NFL quarterback. Kyle doesn't have that yet in Brock. I'm beyond, like, Brock's a good quarterback. He's not Josh Allen. So for the 49ers, in order to win a Super Bowl,
who has a higher EPA? Who had a higher QBR? Just kidding.
My bad. You're right.
Sorry.
But, so for the 49ers to win a Super Bowl, they need to have a great defense. They can't afford to F around this coming season with an unknown. In my opinion, like, it's year 9, dog. Like, you need an elite defense. Salah has proven that he can put together a great defense for the 49ers if you get him the pieces. If you guys find some defensive tackles, Robert Salah gives me the most peace of mind when it comes to how is this defense going to look this coming season. It's not Brandon Staley. It's not Nick Sorensen. It's not any of these dudes. Get Robert Salah. Don't mess around. And yeah, a lot of people are like, hey, let's not go back. Let's not go backwards. And yeah, they're not in a position to do that. They can't have another blunder like Nick Sorensen, another unproven guy, step in and be the defensive coordinator, or Mr. Cat Cow, who I don't trust as a leader of anything. I think they got to get Robert Salah, dude. To me, it's crucial that the 49ers defense gets back to their identity, and I think Robert can do it.
Think so? All right, well, here's the problem, though. He's
Okay.
a good coach, and it seems like he might become the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach. He was there for 3 seasons, I believe. He knows the owner. Also, everyone seems to look at Salah as a guy who kind of got screwed by the Jets because everyone fails there. So if Salah doesn't come to the Niners, possible. Jeff Ulbricht's out. He's now with Atlanta, back in Atlanta as their defensive coordinator. I think there's a very real possibility that Brandon Staley will become the next defensive coordinator because, I mean, if it's not Salah, it's not Ulbricht. They're bringing in an outsider who probably doesn't run their system, which they tried to do with Steve Wilkes and it didn't work. I'm not saying Brandon Staley is going to work or that he's the best option, but it becomes like the path of least resistance, and I think the Niners could take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, your voice just went down.
I'm just sad. I'm just sad. That's all that is. Yeah, I just don't believe in Brandon Staley. Wasn't Brandon Staley a part of this defense last year when they were the worst that they've been under Kyle Shanahan? Wasn't he supposed to be the defensive advisor? Like, what did he contribute last year?
Are we supposed to believe that he wasn't really helping Sorensen and he had all these ideas, but he was holding them back so the Niners would fire Sorensen and he could get the job, and now he's going to unleash his playbook that he had hidden in a Foot Locker?
The young, I forget the kid's name. He's Jim Harbaugh's coordinator for the Chargers, the defensive coordinator. Yeah, he turned that defense into one of the best in the NFL. Like, allowed the least points scored. Last year when Staley was there as the head coach and the defensive play caller, they were one of the worst. So Brandon Staley had one of the worst defenses with the Chargers. Then the very next year, they turned around and now they're one of the best after he left. Brandon Staley was the whatever he is, the assistant defensive head coach. I don't know what the hell his title was last year for Nick Sorensen. And we saw how that worked out. He was part of that coaching staff. If the 49ers go with Nick Sorensen as special teams coordinator and Brandon Staley at defense coordinator, just switching guys around, I'm going to be pissed because I do not believe in that formula.
That's exactly what they're doing, right? It's like, oh, we're getting serious this offseason. We're just cleaning house and getting rid of our coordinators. Actually, we moved our defensive coordinator to special teams coordinator. We moved our assistant head coach to defensive coordinator. But we got rid of that bum Brian Schneider, so we don't play. And we got rid of Devondre Campbell, too, so don't freaking mess around with us. But we essentially kept all of our friends because we're a buddy. We're a family. And Nick Sorensen's my cousin by marriage.
First of all, like Robert Salah, I think he should wait. I don't think he should go to the Jaguars. I don't believe in the Jaguars, especially if there's bulkies there. Robert, if you're listening, don't go to the Jaguars, man. Come to the Niners. I will feel good about the 49ers and their chances next season if they have Robert Salah as their defensive coordinator. If it's Brandon Staley and now Nick Sorensen's the special teams coordinator, I'm going to be freaking negative Nancy. I'm sorry.
Salah would really, I don't know if he would save this team, but he would provide a lot of the things that they're missing. And again, like if Staley were to become the defensive coordinator, all of a sudden he'd have to be on the sideline. Was he on the sideline during games? I'm not sure.
No.
Maybe he was. He wasn't.
He was in the booth.
So he'd have to be on the sideline and he'd have to be the guy pacing up and down the sidelines and going onto the field and having to be held back because it's not Kyle. And it's clear that the Niners defense in particular has been sort of begging for this. They fed off of it for years. They don't have it anymore. They needed Steve Wilkes to come down and provide it. He did in his way. Sorensen was a wet noodle. Sorry to noodles and Sorensens all over the world, but that's what he was. And I don't think Staley's just sort of like a smiling Sorensen.
He's a wet noodle as well.
He's a wet noodle.
Here's the thing. Joey Bosa, not a fan of Brandon Staley.
Yeah.
His brother, Nicholas Bosa, plays for the 49ers. And I don't think that's going to work out. I think Brandon Staley would have been the defensive coordinator last year if it wasn't for that dynamic. I don't think Nick Bosa wants Brandon Staley to be his defensive coordinator based on the history.
I don't think anyone wants Brandon Staley to be their defensive coordinator. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Hey, can they go get Steve Wilkes?
he interviewed in Atlanta. Here's the other thing that's a little.
That's concerning. What I want to say real quick. Whoever they hire, if it's not Salah, won't be as good as Steve Wilkes. That's my problem.
Yeah, that's annoying also.
Yeah.
But the thing about Atlanta, I think they interviewed like 7 defensive coordinators before coming to Old Bridge. The Niners have interviewed 3 dudes.
Deshae Townsend,
Robert
Salah, and
Staley.
Oh, yeah. And then Kyle didn't even like make it clear that he was going to have like a full interview with him. He's like, yeah, I'll talk to him. Like, what? It went by the water cooler? So what's your vision for the defense, huh? Cool. No.
He's literally the backup.
No one likes you.
Here's where the Niners are at. I feel like they're just like, if Robert Salah doesn't accept when he's head coaching positions, he's our guy. If it's not him, it's Staley. That's their plan. It feels like that's their plan. Unless they're waiting for this season to end and more coaches to be available to interview. Maybe that's a possibility, but
if the Niners run it back with Staley at DC and Sorensen at special teams, that's like peak F around and find out. Like that's like a 9 out of 10 on effing around. You really want to find out that you're as bad as you are. You don't believe it. You need to make major changes. You just won 6 games. You need to make major changes. And that's the change. Staley to DC, Sorensen to, that's 9 out of 10 on the F around to find out meter.
It sucks for the Niners. Be great content for you if they actually went that route.